What is the difference between a reboot?
I have no idea. I mean, this is a reimagining, right? That's what they're calling it on Wikipedia.
Is that what they're calling it?
Wikipedia never lies.
A video game remake is a video game closely adapted from an earlier title, usually for the purpose of modernising a game for newer hardware and contemporary audiences.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. A remake typically shares very little of the original assets and code with the original game, distinguishing it from an enhanced port or remastering.
So reboot.
So it is a reboot.
Reboot.
Hi guys, I'm Ed.
I'm hungover.
Welcome.
My name's Harry.
Welcome to one of our Game Hog rants.
It's a rant. I say rant because I'm well spoken.
Because you're posh. Right. So today we're going to be talking about a new game that's come out, Ratchet and Clank.
Well, not new. Obviously, it's a reboot of an existing game from about 2002, I think it was the first game.
I think it was, actually. And I love it. I'm really, really pleased with it. And immediately giving away our opinion on it. But we wanted to discuss why it's a good rebooting. Because this game, we played it over this weekend, haven't we? It came out for us in the UK on Friday. So we've had most of the weekend to get a chance to play it. We haven't completed it, though, just to let fans know. So we don't know completely the way to the end. We're judging it based up to the point that we've both got to.
I got a bit further than you, I think. I'm near the end. I absolutely loved this game. I thought it was brilliant. I mean, I was a big fan of the original and the entire Ratchet and Clank series. And this, it really did it justice. It was a homage. It was an homage to the original, which was fantastic, but it also had much better graphics and visuals, and the gameplay was the same as it was before, but it's been built on. It was brilliant. I couldn't say enough good things about it. I
was very pleased. Immediately jumping into the game, I was immediately struck with nostalgia. Obviously, it's changed up completely from what we did play. It's not a complete remake. We tried to define what that was, but we're not totally sure. But it's different enough to be refreshing whilst being nostalgic at the same time, which instantly gives you a great mixture of emotions, I thought.
So I mean, what they've done is, to those that don't know, they are actually making a Ratchet and Clank movie, which is coming out, I think, later this month, or next month, in fact. So they essentially remade the first game, rebooted the first game, to go along with that. They've changed the story in some subtle ways, but it's pretty much the same game, and there's the same kind of levels, but they've been remade and remastered, and it just looks fantastic.
I think it does as well. The first thing I was struck by was how beautiful the cutscenes look.
Yeah.
And I thought, the cutscenes look great. I wonder if maybe when the gameplay kicks in, there'll be a sacrifice. And no, the gameplay looks equally as stunning. I think it does get near 60 frames per second most of the time.
No, it's 30.
Is it 30?
It's the original ran at 60. This one runs at 30 to give it a smoother frame rate, I believe.
Interesting. Right, that doesn't sound right, but okay, that makes more sense to me.
I just looked it up. I know, it is weird, but that is the case.
Well, there you go. But yeah, I mean, so there's the familiar feels with the kind of planets. I don't know if the progression that you go through them is exactly the same as it was in the first game.
It is, I think it is. Because I mean, one thing that I'd actually forgotten about the original game was that at the end of each sort of planet, on each planet you get to, you have missions to do and objectives to fulfill, and you find these infobots which show you to the next planet. And I'd forgotten about that until I saw it in the reboot, and thought, I remember those. This is great, fantastic. And you go to the next planet, and it was brilliant.
It was. I remember that, and I remember seeing the springy Captain Quark bot and going,
yes.
I remember speaking to you on Metropolis about 14 years ago in my childhood.
Yeah.
And it was bits like that. It's the gold bolts and the nostalgia. In fact, I remember the game did something really clever, and it was as simple as at the train station. It's not called Metropolis anymore, but in the train station section of that big Metropolis-like map, there's a gold bolt if when you nearly get on the train, you go right instead of left, jump over some blocks, there's a gold bolt. I remember going, I wonder if that gold bolt's still here. And after trying, found it. And I remember going, that's so cool. It's as simple as just leaving something where people will remember it. And I thought that was so clever.
I mean, what's great though, I mean, although this is all familiar territory, it feels new.
It does.
And there aren't that many references to the original, except a couple of clever ones. I won't spoil it here, but it's done very subtly and very cleverly. Very enjoyable.
There was one line that's literally a throwaway thing like, see you next reboot or something like that. And it just made me laugh. I thought that's all you need. It's subtle, it's great.
Because one thing the Ratchet and Clank series did very well was humour.
Yes.
It's always got humour spot on. And even though it's sort of made to be a kid's game, it's also, it's enjoyable for adults as well.
Very much so.
And that's still very apparent in this reboot. Even more so that there are jokes like that. So this is something I remember saying about Paper Mario, how, to make a good sequel to the game, you should stick to the core gameplay but bring in something new.
Yeah.
Which is what Ratchet and Clank did very well. So the first game was just the game. Second one had the weapon upgrades. Third one had, I think, ship upgrades, stuff like that. And that came in very well organically.
Yeah, there's definitely the changes incorporated, and I think those are good. The changes that happened throughout the series, which made them good sequels, applying those in the right way to a reboot is genius, and it's another reason that makes this game just such high quality.
Yeah.
Because you're taking on board an entire decade worth of games, not just the one that everyone has the nostalgia glass for. Because frankly, I don't remember many of the sequels to Ratchet and Clank that vividly, whereas I remember the first one like every other memory of my childhood.
I remember the second one was very good as well. The story was fantastic.
Was that Up Your Arsenal?
Yes, it sort of featured on it looked at Ratchet's past and the Lombaxes
Yes,
itself.
yeah.
And it was very enjoyable in itself. One thing I didn't like about this game, and I'm giving a massive spoiler alert.
So
you've been warned.
You have been warned.
The structure of it ruins the big twist at the end.
Really?
So if you remember the original game, the big twist at the end is that Captain Quark betrayed you. And that was the big twist that was you earned at the end. It was a big surprise actually. In the original, it was good fun. In this one, it's got a framing device which starts set in prison with Captain Quark in prison, so you know he's already there.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Halo Reach thing where they start off with a panning shot of a guy with a headshot through his helmet. And you know exactly how it's all going to end. I must agree with that because, I remember not seeing it the first time I played it. And the semi-passive-aggressive nature towards you that he's doing in all his dialogue, it makes it so obvious as well.
I mean, it's an interesting device. And I suppose, because they've rebooted this game, they had to do something a bit different, I guess, to keep it more in tone with the movie. But that I can't confirm. I'll tell you when I see the movie.
It's all the little jokes as well that have really just kind of brought it back. So, for instance, I forgot Skid McMarks.
Oh, God, yes.
As a name. I forgot about Skid McMarks. And probably at the age of 8 or 9, I wouldn't really have gotten that joke. But now I laughed so hard, going, that's great. I would never have noticed that, and I didn't.
I didn't actually get that until now.
Did you not?
I didn't even think of that.
That's really embarrassing.
A little bit. But nice to see he's back in there with a hoverboarding level, which is also great fun.
That was great fun. I really, really enjoyed that. So it's good to see a lot of the really core bits from the original that we loved coming back. I've not found any bits from the original lacking yet. No. But then again, we haven't finished. So
I didn't like the idea that you collected these holo cards, because that's the thing, I guess. It's like you collect trading cards and you collect sets of them. It's the way you get the Rhino in this game, essentially, which is the powerful weapon of the original, if you remember. In the past, you have to play the game through about 4 or 5 times to collect millions and millions of bolts to get this thing. It felt like an achievement. With this, it feels a bit like it's been thrown in, you're just collecting stuff. It doesn't feel as earned, I guess, but...
Yeah, I suppose there is that slight gimmick, and so far I've managed to get maybe, is it 4 Rhino cards? I think I've got 2 of them.
You got to get like 9.
Sorry, I thought there were 4, but yeah, I've already managed to find 2 of them, and it's not been hard to find them. So, we'll see.
I guess that's something that's going to appeal to people who like collecting things, and it's seeking out all the levels.
100%.
Which is fine. I mean, it's not... for me, but I'm sure other people will enjoy that.
So guys, hope you enjoyed us discussing why we thought Ratchet and Clank was quite a nice reboot, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't really a rant or a rant, was it?
A rant, no. But we've never really found that any reboots or reboot calls, whatever you call them nowadays, we've never found any that have been as magical as this one.
No, because it's an odd thing, isn't it, when they reboot a game? I mean, a remake I've seen done before, but a reboot is less common.
No, I mean, I can't actually think of many decent reboots. I know Resident Evil, I've never played the Resident Evil games, but I know they did...
What a shame.
Sorry. I know they did a reboot on the GameCube, which was considered to be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much the original game with sort of extra stuff added in.
Yeah.
But again, it didn't detract from the main game itself, so that was done right as well.
Which sums this up.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I think it's a genuine example of a game that had care taken by the people who made it, giving you a reason to want to come back as a fan, being blessed with nostalgia, whilst also being given stuff that was totally different.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Well worth playing, guys. Give it a go. Absolutely.
And so thank you very much for watching this rant on Ratchet and Clank, guys, and we will see you in our next one. Take care.
Bye, Zeus. So guys, let us know in the comments below if you have a sequel or reboot in mind you thought was really good or really bad.
Or you can click on this.
What's that?
It's a video.
Yeah, you should do that.
You should click on that, see what it is.
It's good. Promise.